friends, this is DMC and this is my quick review of New King's coffee bags. And what they've done is they've been kind enough to send me a few of their selection of coffee bags. So what I'll be doing is I'll be trying them out over the next day or two. The ones they've sent me are medium roast Guatemalan Central American, a Sumatra Indonesian Southeast Asian coffee bag, and here we go, a Sidamo Ethiopian light roast, dark roast, medium roast. And the first one I'll be trying, because I'm filming this quite late at night, is the decaf, which is San Ignacio, Peru, South America. It says the tasting notes are roasted peanuts and cookie dough. It's roast number 2. It says they infuse in hot water for 3 to 5 minutes. And there is the New King's Coffee website there. If anyone wants to have a look on there, I'll add links in the description below. It's a Swiss water decaffeination process for this coffee. I notice quite a lot are using the Swiss decaf water process for theirs. Soil Association organic fair trade coffee. And on the back, nothing on the back, so all the information is there. So what I'll do is I'll boil the kettle and give this one a try. Just before I do, they did send me information about each of the coffees, so I'll give a quick read for the, if I can find it, the Peruvian decaf. It says the San Ignacio province is one of 13 provinces located in the Cajamarca region of Peru. The high elevation and the coffee varietals grown there provide the region a natural advantage. Decaffeinated using the Swiss water process, and it says their tasting notes smooth, mild and sweet, with good notes of roasted peanuts, soft milk chocolate and cookie dough, medium bodied with mild acidity and slight burnt sugar sweetness. So as I say, I'll give that a quick read before I try each one individually. And there we go, it says brew it like a king, add coffee bag to mug, add boiled water, brew for 3 to 5 minutes, stir and squeeze, and remove coffee bag and enjoy. So as I say, I'll get this open and put it in a cup and boil the kettle. So I've got my cup ready and I've just boiled the kettle, and I haven't yet opened the packet, so we'll open it up and take a look at the coffee bag inside. They tend to have like a sort of oily feel to them. You'd expect sort of tea bag sort of bags, but the coffee bags are completely different. I'm not 100% sure whether these are recyclable, these coffee bags. It doesn't really say anywhere on the pack about whether they are or not. But as I say, they've got a really sort of strange feel to them, these. As I say, I'll pop it in for the 5 minutes they say. So I'll put the water in now. And as I say, we'll come back to that in 5 minutes time. So that's had 5 minutes to brew now, so I'll remove the bag in the most dignified way possible. Very messy, these coffee bags. Slight patination to the bag there. So give that a quick stir and add a tiny amount of milk to gauge the strength of the coffee. So yeah, it's quite a strong coffee. I'll give it a quick first initial try, even though it's red hot. Nice. Bit chocolatey. It's quite bland, quite subtle. There's slight pepperiness in there, or bitterness that sort of comes at the end. But it's quite a nice one actually. Yeah, quite strong, as I said. So what I'll do is I'll finish the cup off, and what I'll do is I'll go through the other 3 coffee bags, and then I'll give me more rounded thoughts on all 4 of them at the end of the review. So we'll move on to the next one tomorrow. So next I'm going to be trying the light roast, which is the Sidamo Ethiopian. It says tasting notes of blackcurrant, cherry and aromatic. It's a strength number 2. So I've just boiled the kettle and I'll throw this in the cup. I did mention in the last segment about whether these coffee bags are recyclable. They are biodegradable. As I say, normal tea bags are not biodegradable, which I thought they was, but they're not, and that's why these have that sort of strange texture to the and feel to the coffee bags, because, as I say, they are biodegradable. Just have a quick smell of this. Yeah, quite floral actually. So what I'll do is I'll pour the water in. And it says on the pack between 3 and 5 minutes. I'll give this one 5 minutes and I'll come back in 5 minutes. So that's had a good 5 minutes in there. Just give it a little squeeze on the side of the cup, and as I say, they're a little bit messy and difficult to deal with, these coffee bags. Add a little bit of milk. And what I'll do is give this a quick initial taste and see if I can pick up anything in that first quick try. So let's give this one a go. It is quite fruity, but I'm not really picking up that sort of typical citrus you'd expect from an Ethiopian coffee. Maybe that blackcurrant and cherry I'm picking up slightly there. It is, it's got a slight sort of aftertaste, sort of sweet fruity finish to it. But yeah, it's very nice coffee. It's even though it's described as a light roast, it's quite a strong coffee. Yeah, as I say, very nice, fruity. It's not a typical citrus from an Ethiopian you'd expect. So what I'll do is I'll finish this cup off and write down a few more of my thoughts, and then what I'll do is when I've tried all the coffee bags that they've sent me, I'll come back with my more detailed thoughts. So next is the medium roast Guatemalan The tasting notes are almond and toffee, and they say it's a 3 out of 5 roast on this one. So as I say, I've given the kettle a quick boil, so I'll open a pack of this and we'll have a quick smell of the bag. Quite fruity, sort of berries. It says almond and toffee on the pack. It is quite sweet smelling. Very slight sort of vanilla sort of toffee taste there. So as I say, I've given the kettle a boil and we'll add water. And as usual, it says on the pack infuse in hot water for between 3 and 5 minutes. So as I like my coffee a little bit stronger, I'll give this 5 minutes in there and then give the bag a bit of a stir around in the cup. So I'll come back in 5 minutes. So that's had 5 good minutes in there. Just give the bag a quick squeeze before I take it out. And they're very slippery, these. It's like going fishing and catching the slippery fish. These coffee bags. So there we go. Give it a quick stir, and as usual I'll add a tiny amount of milk so we can gauge the strength of the coffee. A bit more than I normally would there, but again, once again, it's another good strong coffee. What I'll do is I'll give this a quick taste. Yeah, I'd say it's a typical Guatemalan, very sweet, very fruity. Slight nuttiness there. Sort of got that sort of tea element to it, which I seem to get from a lot of Guatemalan coffees. Yeah, it's got a good body, I'd say. It's quite full bodied. Not really picking up the almond much that's mentioned on the pack, but sort of getting that toffee, sweet toffee flavour. Yeah, quite impressed with that. As usual, what I'll do is I've got one more to try, so I'll either be trying that later today or maybe tomorrow. This is the strongest of the lot, which I've kept to last. And what I'll do is I'll come back when I finish this cup and write down me more detailed thoughts on it, and then I'll come back at the end and give a overall review of all the coffee bags that I've tried so far. So last but not least is the Sumatra, Indonesia, Southeast Asia. This is the darkest roast that they do. Well, I think it is anyway. It's a 4 out of 5, so I don't know, maybe they do a 5 out of 5, but anyway, this is a 4 out of 5. The tasting notes are peach syrup, spices and chocolate. And there we go, 10 grams of coffee in this bag, packaged in a protective atmosphere. And actually, I've never noticed that before. The best before date is September 2018. And when I do me quick recap at the end, I'll just check that date on the other packs just to make sure that they're all the same best before date on there. So I've just boiled the kettle. We'll get this, well, they never quite rip as they should, and I don't want to cut it with scissors, because knowing me, I'll cut through the bag itself. So there we go, there's the coffee bag. I'll have a quick smell. Yeah, not quite what I was expecting. It does smell a little bit like a sort of Guatemalan coffee, but yeah, it smells like quite a strong coffee. So as I say, I'll whack this in the cup, and what I normally do is I normally let the kettle boil and then leave it for a minute or two, just so it doesn't come out and scorch the coffee. So get this filled up now. So I'll give that 5 minutes and then I'll come back and give it a quick taste. So that's had a good 5 minutes to brew there, and in those 5 minutes I did have a quick look at the other bags, and yes, they have all got the same best before date on of September 2018, the other coffees. So let's get this out of here. Coffee bags, they're like a slippery wet eel to get out of your cup. Oh, there we go, that's what happens. So I would have caught a good £10 fish there and lost it at the bank. I don't fish actually, so I don't know if that sounded like I knew what I was talking about there. So there's the coffee bag, extracted from the cup. Quick stir, and as per usual I'll add a tiny amount, if I can get it to focus, a tiny amount of milk to gauge the strength of the coffee. And I did put my spoon somewhere, so here we go. Looks a very strong coffee. So I'll have a quick smell of it at first. It's got a slight fruitiness to it. On the pack it says tasting notes of peach syrup, spices and chocolate, and yeah, certainly picking up a sort of fruity chocolate flavour to it. So I'll have a quick taste. Yeah, it's a nice coffee. It's one that I really enjoy, but I could imagine some people balking a bit at this. It's got a sort of treacle, I would say, treacle sort of edge to it. Fruity, chocolatey. Yeah, very nice. So that's my first initial thoughts, and as I say, I'll come back and do a quick recap of the 4 coffees that I've tried so far. So I've had a chance now to try out the 4 coffee bags that were sent to me, and just to have a quick run through of the taste of each one. The decaf, really nice decaf, this one. It's chocolatey, sweet, very strong, slightly nutty, with slight toffee taste to it, with that sweetness. Next we had the Ethiopian Sidamo light roast, which was very fruity but not your typical citrus. It was more blackcurrant, cherry, something there that reminded me of a slight hint of mint in there, and you know, that sort of floral sort of taste that you tend to get with Ethiopian coffees. Next was the medium roast, the Guatemalan, which was sweet with a sort of toffee taste there. It was fruity with a slight orange hint, I would say. It was full-bodied. It was quite acidic, and I would say it was sort of tea-like, but very nice. And lastly was the dark roast, which is the Sumatra, Indonesia, which was fruity, chocolatey. It was slightly spicy, with a slight bitter or sour finish. It did leave me with a sort of dry feeling in my mouth after drinking that one. But one little tip is, don't drink that last mouthful, because you do get that slight bit of sludge at the bottom of the cup that you tend to get sometimes. But that's you'd have that with all the coffee bags. I've tried other ones, and you do get that little bit of sediment at the bottom of the cup. So, as I say, all top quality tasting coffees. These are, I've thoroughly enjoyed trying the 4 of these over the last day or two. So I would give them, and I'd just say me 2 favourites were the decaf and the Indonesian Sumatra coffee, but I really did like the decaf one. That was a really nice strong coffee, that one. So I'll give these a 4.25 out of 5. Quality wise, they're all good quality coffees. I did enjoy all of them. I didn't dislike any of them, so all good quality coffees, like I say, and I'll give them a 4.25 out of 5. So I'd like to hear from anyone who's tried these coffee bags, the New King's Coffee coffee bags. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more coffee reviews in the future, subscribe to my channel. That was my quick review. Thanks for listening. Bye for now.